that is what pretty much got me into what would be the second hardest time in my life, was when I fell in love head over heels. And, I never cared to get married in my life. I never really thought of it. But he made me want to get married. He gave me hope that there'd be true love. He gave me, he had me daydreaming about marriage. It was just, he had me sprung to the point where I moved away, far away from home, to live with him. And about a month in, I realized I had made a mistake. And it got so toxic and so abusive, I definitely sunk into a hole. At one point, I found out he was cheating on me. I was stuck living there because I didn't really have any help to move me, my cat, my belongings back home in Dallas. And I was just trying to make it work. I was trying to, get my own place and just stick it out where I was living and the city I was living anyway. And just, thought maybe I could just start off fresh and just, stick to the plan. But at one point, I was working a lot of hours at this restaurant job. Wasn't making much because they weren't that busy. And because they weren't so busy, one time went to work and there was a sign on the door saying it was closed. And I had just given a lot of money I loaned to my then boyfriend. And I was stuck in a place I didn't want to be at, in an abusive relationship with somebody who had cheated on me and broke my heart. I lost my job, and I found myself in a bathroom with a bottle of pills. And luckily, I guess, my ex walked in and saw what I was thinking and contemplating doing and told me I should go get help. He was like, you should probably go to the ER and see what they can do for you. Of course, I went by myself. He didn't go with me. But I did that. They had offered me some programs. And I pursued those programs, and I got prescribed antidepressants, which I wasn't a big fan of. I got night terrors from the nighttime one I was taking, and I felt like, I don't know if maybe it was a nighttime in conjunction with the Prozac I was on, but it just made me feel very catatonic, like I just wasn't living. Like I had no emotion. And I guess for me, I'd rather feel depressed or upset, in my happy moments, than just not feeling anything at all. And so I didn't take them for too long. But this toxic relationship got abusive. It got to the point where I had to act on self-defense due to asphyxiation, and it unfortunately got me arrested. Oh my god. I talk about this with friends and people who ask me what happened, but I don't put this out there. It got me arrested, and because it happened twice in a year, two charges in a 12-month period in the state of Texas is a felony. So I had a Class A misdemeanor from the self-defense, and then whenever I tried calling the police on him again, the second instance where I was covered head to toe in bruises and I didn't lay a hand back because I'd obviously tried, learn my lesson the first time, they were being opportunistic on the felony charge as opposed to really trying to help me out. So I was in jail for about 3 months because I couldn't bail out. My bail was too high, couldn't afford it. I tried calling my brother to help me out, but because he does pretty well with money, and he straight up was like, I'll come pick you up. I'll come bring, pack your things for you, and I'll come pick you up and move you back home. But you're going to sit in jail and you're going to think about the situation you're in right now. I'm like, oof. But that was the best tough love I think I've ever received in my life. Because I really was just thinking about like getting out of jail, trying to find a new home in Austin and, stay there. But after about 3 days of sitting there and really thinking, because you really don't have much else to do in jail but think, and sleep, and read. I read 18 books in 3 months. I really wanted to go home. I wanted to go home to Dallas. And I called him back up and was like, you know what? I'll sit this out. I'll, whatever you want me to do, I'll let you know when I'm out. And let's go get my shit. Let's go back home. And that's exactly what happened. And it was, by God's grace, one of the best life-turning decisions I've ever made in my life to just, give up on a situation that obviously just wasn't worth the time and effort. I still deal with those charges. And it still affects certain aspects of my life. The felony got dismissed, but in return I had to plead guilty to the misdemeanor, and I could have fought the case and I could have won it, honestly, with the pictures that the officers take of me, with everything I had laid out. I could have won the case, but, oh my god, alright, sorry. With everything I had laid out, I could have beat the case, but I wanted to get out of jail. So I took their first plea bargain. Dumbest mistake of my life, but I'm fine. I'm in a better place. I don't care. But that was a very trying situation. May I add that my grandma died within a month before getting arrested as well, so I was just in a whole world of just hurt, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Being dead ass broke. I knew that my debit card was just getting charged and charged and charged with all these overdraft fees and everything, and I'm also worrying about what the hell is going on with my cat. But I made it out, and I've become a way better person because of it. And ever since then, I've dealt with certain situations that have kind of brought me back to that black hole, but luckily, it's normally not a permanent thing. It's very momentary. It's like if I lose my job, or I've lost somebody, which I actually just lost a friend within the past week. It gets to me sometimes, but, I've gotten way better, and my outlet has definitely been professional wrestling. I feel like it's just how it landed in my lap the way it did. I taken it and I'm running with it. I love this business. I love the people I've met in this business. I love the fans. I love being in the ring. Being in the ring is the one time ever, aside from being asleep. And even then being asleep, shit still weighs on my mind. But it's the only time, that 10, 20 minutes, however long I'm in that ring, where I don't think about a damn thing. I literally just think about the match itself, keeping me and my opponent safe, and that's it. There's nothing else in this world that blacks me out from everything like professional wrestling does. Being in the gym, being more physically active, being healthier is also a fantastic outlet. Just all around, wrestling has made my life better. And music has been a huge thing as well. Unfortunately, I haven't played the drums in a few years because I had to sell my drum set, but that was something that got me through high school, was playing the drums, listening to music, going to concerts has been the biggest outlet during those very trying times in high school. Was going to concerts. I was getting Social Security money for my dad's death. I was going to concerts every other week. And it's just, I can't say, especially for those people who have lost somebody. It's been almost 14 years since I've lost my dad, and it doesn't get easier. I'm not going to lie to you and say it gets easier. You just learn to accept it, and you just have to make the best of it, and just know that they're looking over you. Even if you're not a God person and you're not religious, you've got to know that they're still there in spirit. And that's what's gotten me through. Because like I said, all depression most of my depression I've had was stemmed from losing my father at an early age. So I hope this not only better explains myself, but also helps somebody to find an outlet to do something. Just keep going, and don't let this amazing, but a lot of the time, very terrible world get you down. It's not worth your energy, it's not worth your spirit, it's not worth your time. You deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. And again, hopefully this has helped somebody somewhere out there. And I again want to thank Jackson for putting together this video channel, because depression's a real damn thing. And salute to everybody who is beating it and fighting through it and waking up the next day and doing what they can to become a better person. And rest in peace to those who unfortunately just didn't want to deal with it anymore. Thank you guys.